Hi, I'm Jess, and this is Intro to Adulthood, my channel, where I do self-care content for myself. And I've just started on my own personal self-care content, and recently this is my Sims 4 playthrough of Building My Homes Challenge. Here is episode 2. We are back at the Harrow home, and I have finished building everything, and now it's time to furnish. So we had a love seat and a big couch, and we had a fireplace, and I used to fall asleep in front of the fireplace with my feet up in front of it. So fun fact, I have already tried to record and make this video twice already, and it did not work out for me. We had a spiral staircase, which was really cool. But obviously Sims doesn't have spiral staircases yet. So for now I'm going to use a modern floating staircase to sort of give some sort of the idea. It was like a black wrought iron staircase that we had. The kitchen, when I was building this last time, I could not remember for the life of me what the wallpaper was, and suddenly it struck me. And I remembered that I'm pretty sure we had some sort of wallpaper that had like chickens and farmhouse sort of stuff related, or like apples. It was either apples or it was chickens. I can't remember which house it was. Yeah, we had another dining table right off of the kitchen. We've never really been a family that eats at the table. We always have a dining table, but we don't really eat at the dining table. It's just sort of oh, well, we have one. You know, if we have company, then we eat at the table, but otherwise. Oh, weird. It's weird how the more you keep building, the more comes back to your memory. Because I just remembered that the dog's food bowls were over here, and that my mom had a cabinet set, and she still does. It's like a 3-piece cabinet set, and with the table. Okay. Then we had a desk, because this was the beginning of the internet, and I remember my very first PC video game was Freddy the Fish, number 3. And it was awesome, and I loved it. So I'm a cat person, and I've always kind of been a cat person. But I wasn't allowed to have cats for a really long time growing up because my mom is really allergic. So until my mom got a hairless cat, I didn't have cats, really. So, but we did have dogs. And I had 3 dogs with my mom's first husband. He had, when we first moved in, he had 2 of his own dogs, but then he didn't have them anymore as we moved in, so I don't know what happened to them. And then we had Molson. And Molson was too smart for his own good. Way too smart for his own good. He knew how to open the fridge. He was a dog that had been bought by some college kids, and they taught him how to open the fridge and get them a beer and bring it back to them. So after he learned that, he just became the smartest dog ever and started breaking into everything, and he would eat anything he could get his paws on. Yeah, I remember one time we came home and Molson had opened the fridge, and we had just gotten groceries, and he ate everything in the fridge. Every single thing that there was to eat, he ate it. He pulled out all of the Kraft single slices and unwrapped them and ate them. He Mike's Hard Lemonade. He ate like all of my lunch meals for school and everything else. And then we had our big old bathroom over here. This was like the best bathroom of my life. I had a television in my bathroom, and I had a giant jacuzzi tub, which was like the best thing that could ever happen to me. I remember he ate a turkey dinner one time for Easter. We looked away, for 2 minutes, and sure enough, the dog had eaten everything. So I just remember, like, he was a very nice dog, but he was so mischievous. Like, he loved me so much, and he would sleep next to my bed, and he would he wouldn't leave my side until I was asleep, and he was very protective, and he was a very good dog. But he was just too smart for his own good, so we couldn't keep him. So he ended up going to another home, and then we got Trixie and Bo. And Trixie was a pointer dog. She was a hunter dog, and she was really pretty. She was brown and white spots, and she was very friendly and a really good dog. And then we had Bo, and Bo was not a very smart dog. He was a Maltese mix, like cute, but not smart at all. So I remember this was when I was still being babysat by Amy, and she used to come over whenever Mom and Tuffy would go out, or if Mom had like late meetings. So she came over one night to put me to bed, and Bo had pooped all over himself in the yard. And so then Amy had to take care of it, and she was like gagging and making such a fuss about it, and I thought it was so funny. And I still remember, like, to this day, her having such a hard time, like, trying to clean up this dog and being so mad at me for laughing at her. And then I wrote a letter to my mom because I had to go to bed. So I wrote like a note to my mom for when she got home, and it said, "Dear Mom, Bo pooped all over himself, Amy threw up, and I laughed. Love you." And like, that's what I remember of that whole conversation. It's funny thinking back now. And I'm sorry if you can hear my cat snoring beside me. Her name is Sunshine. She's hairless. And she is like the loudest snorer in the world. So. We had American Satellite. And my friends Jackie and Claire, they lived across the field. And they would come over all the time, and we would watch so much TV together. That was a lot of a staple in our friendship, and still is to this day. Jackie and Claire used to have cats at their house, and I remember one time their cats had kittens, and I came home, and because we lived on a farm, I was like, well, we can have like farm cats, right? So, because of my obsession with cats, obviously. And I ended up bringing home 3 kittens in my backpack with me. They were black and white, and a black and white speckle one. And so I named them Salt and Pepper, and the last one, we didn't really have a name for it, and so I didn't know that Paprika was red. So we named it Paprika. And I'm pretty sure it's because of Blue's Clues, because Blue's like best friend was Paprika. I'm almost positive that's why we named the cat Paprika, but I remember we had suddenly 3 cats that lived at our house because I decided that they needed to come live with us. and I wasn't wrong. They did need to come live with us, and they were really good barn cats. One of them, I remember, like, jumped into the air and caught a bird. He was crazy. I was still really young when I lived here. So I had like a lot of little kids play stuff. I totally had one of these carriage toys. Oh no, it's so small. There was like a little baby bassinet thing that I had, and you could like sit in it if you were small enough, which I am because I'm a tiny person. But I used to put my baby dolls in it and then like bring it around the house with me. And I had, my closet was here. And I had all my toys and my clothes and stuff shoved in there. Like all of my stuff, I remember, lined my room because it was a really long room. And then back here was sort of our storage area. We had a lot of, like all of our Christmas stuff was back here, and I think we had like a bike back here, and like there was, I don't know, it was just a bunch of random stuff. Oh, you know what? We probably had a workout machine. I bet you any money there was a workout machine in there. The 90s was like, every home had a workout machine, whether it was just like the little steppy thing or like a walker or like a bike. So this is pretty much the house as I remember it. This little portable back here, we actually had Tuffy collected pigeons and like show pigeons, I guess. And we had, I had a bunny, and then my bunny ended up having more bunnies. So we had show bunnies as well. And then over here was our farm sort of greeny house thing. You could actually see through the top of this here, and it's made of like plastic, and it's in a dome shape over the top. And in here was where we had our horses, when we had horses. I'm pretty sure until Mom and I moved out, we had horses. And this was all cut into like little stables. There's the barn. So that's that. That's the first house that I remember now built in Sims 4. So this was my Harrow house. I really hope that you guys enjoyed watching me build this and hearing about my commentary on growing up over this way in Canada on a farm, and what it was like for the 3 years that I was living there. Next up, I think I'm going to be building, if possible, my friend Jackie and Claire's house, which was right across the road from this house here that I've built. We were right across the field from one another, and I spent quite a lot of my time over there. When my mom traveled for work for sometimes a week, 2 weeks, I'd end up going and sleeping over there for a lot of the time so that I could just get up and get on the bus with them and come home, have dinner, and, you know, remain in some sort of regular routine. So this will be the third video coming up that I'm going to be making for you guys. So if you would like this challenge, then please build your own house or houses and tag yourself, and tag me as well. Hashtag Build Your Homes Challenge, and I'd love to see what you guys build. Thanks so much, and until next time, just keep on living.